Are you hooked on him and you'd like him to be as hooked on you the same way? Are you tired of having something physical and it not leading to the emotional connection for him that you have? And do you know that you can have it? I wonder about that because I have so many women coming to me in your situation, a situationship, a friends with benefits, a non-committal, amorphous, limbo type relationship that they want to be leading to something more, have something more. I know that they have a fantastic chance of getting it, but they're actually just doing the wrong things to get there. You can get there if you are in a situationship, if you're in a friends with benefits, if you are just hooking up and you want more, you can have that. I have a very specific way of getting it. It does take some doing, it takes your commitment, but to the degree you want it, if you make that commitment, you can get his commitment. I am convinced of it because I have seen it time and time and time again with my clients who actually follow the steps needed to guide the man to more with you. It's absolutely possible. And tonight we're going to dive deep into it so that you can understand it. You can get these steps and consider doing what it takes to get a man to actually see you as the one from any kind of physical connection that you have. Is it possible? Absolutely. I do it all the time with my clients with my lure him to method. It's very straightforward. It's actually quite simple, but like anything else that we truly want, that's truly valuable, that we get true fulfillment from, it's not easy. Simple doesn't mean easy. If it were easy, every woman would just do it. You have to know the steps first, though, and that's what I'm about. I want to tell you about those tonight. I want to answer your questions, and I do that here on YouTube. So if you are on Instagram, come on over to YouTube because that's where I answer your questions in the Q&A portion. I'm going to outline the steps. Like I said, very simple, but not easy to do, especially on your own, and especially with the advice that is out there now about relationships. There seem to be two camps, and I hear a lot about women putting in, for example, their dating profile that they'll put no one night stands. Well, that's going to hurt you. It's not going to help you. It's the idea that I, as the woman, can be very direct in a male energied way and get what it is that I desire. If only. The inconvenient truth is that we can't. The real crux of the matter is that we are absolutely equal to men, but we are diametrically opposed when it comes to what we want in relationships, especially in the beginning. And if we as women do not attend to that, we lose. Men lose too, because they don't get us or what they want, but they don't lose in the same way that women do. Is it fair? No, not fair. But there is a way for you to get what you want, even when you start in a sexual manner. And many times, that's how you're going to start, because men almost force it. And it is, that may be odd for you to hear from someone in my space, but the modern world is such that most relationships now, except in the very religious sectors of society, or extremely provincial. Of course, there are rules type of stuff that goes on as well. But the vast majority of people will start in some kind of sexual, pseudo-sexual, amorphous, undefined physical relationship of some sort. That's just a reality. And that might be unfortunate. It might not be what you want, or you do want it at the time, and you think it's going to be different because the man is a new man. And that can give you a lot of heartbreak. It's not the man, it's the steps you take and what you do. And that can seem controlling or manipulative. No, it truly is knowing that you are of value to that man, that he does want you, and he may absolutely want more if you show him what it can be like. And you may think you're doing that, but if you know anything about me here, you know what I'm going to say right off the bat. If you're talking to him about it, it's likely not working. Not at all, because of what's in my book. If you don't know me and you're just coming across me, I'm Coach Paula Grooms. I'm a dating and relationship coach for women, social worker, and author of this book, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. I help you find a Mr. Right, get an ex back, or grow an existing situationship or relationship of any kind, so you create the relationship of your dreams and then level up to the complete commitment you totally deserve. And when I say your dreams, meaning both your dreams, because we want him to feel what you feel so that you get connected in a bigger way than just physical, and he can see the path to the relationship that you want. So we start with some fundamentals that right now, as things are, and it's neither good or bad, it just is, men are in a place of expecting certainly some level of sexual interaction very early on. And it is a competitive marketplace, meaning it's very difficult to get something going with someone and keep it going, because his interest lies a lot in the sexual. Now, are there cases whereby he is so in love he will absolutely wait and wait and wait and wait? Yes. Yes. And I work with women who want to do that, and I work with them in a way that's the best how for that particular man. He's typically a one-off. But one thing I know is that he's very ready, or there has been a lot of pursuit behind the scenes of that woman that has allowed him to get to a level of being pseudo in love, I'll say, and then waiting. But if you start with chemistry and there's sexual stuff going on, well, how do you then morph that into a relationship? Because if you know anything about my premises, men love through wondering. And when we take that away from them early on, it lowers their interest. But here's the real crux of it, that if he had you unchanged from when you first got together, he would keep falling if there's a chance of him falling. So let's unpack that a little bit. And then I'm going to get to your question over here on YouTube. So if you're on Instagram and you want to ask a question and join in the conversation, I hope you will come over to YouTube, because that's where I see the questions and I will answer them. Angel, I see your question here and I will be answering that in the Q&A. Okay, so I want to unpack what I just said. When you start out, everything is new and interesting, and there's a lot of wonder on the man's part. And if you start having sex, if you don't really change in terms of your demeanor with him, your way with him, your talking about the relationship, and you allow it to unfold, and I'm going to give a caveat here right away. You must look at your feelings in the situation and the energy you're giving out to him, not allowing for it to unfold. This is fundamental. It's why I work under 3 pillars: mindset, which incorporates self-concept, the mechanics of men, what we do, and manifesting what we want, meaning knowing I can have this. I do have it. It makes you the cool girl, not talking about the relationship, where you are with him, what you're doing, trying to get some kind of stamp on it. Now, make no mistake, I am not in any way suggesting that you don't get a stamp on sexual exclusivity, which is different than a relationship. In other words, you need to be having safe sex, for sure. And you do have to show him that you value yourself, you value your physical wellness. So, yes, that needs to be done before you have sex. And that if you're going to have sex, well, you might be having fun, but it should be enough fun, just the 2 of you. You see? That allows him to also feel safe, and it helps you get to exclusivity at least, and that allows for him to breathe before the nomenclature of relationship or boyfriend. And make no mistake, it doesn't matter the man's age. We're not just talking about young men here. Many, many, many women come to me, late 30s, 40s, 50s, some beyond, whereby they're in a situationship or something physical with a guy, and he hasn't been divorced long enough, so he's not a buyer yet. And if you don't know that concept, you can go to my test here, the relationship test, the consumer versus buyer relationship test, and test your man and any previous man, whether or not he was an actual buyer for you or just a consumer. That test is in all my videos linked there, and you can take it for free and get the results. You can know whether he's just a mixed messages consumer, whether he's a prospective buyer, whether he's a bona fide buyer, or on the other end of the scale, whether he's an ultimate consumer. So if you start physically, here's where the rubber meets the road. You must have the essence and patience to wait for him. The biggest mistake that women I work with make is that they do not give the man they're with agency over the relationship, no matter what it is. What do I mean by that? He must feel in pursuit and in control of it. Think about that. You're going to say, like, just gloss that over. You can't. It's fundamental in men. He must feel the pursuit. How do you do that? Again, simple, but not necessarily easy in our world now, because everything's about equality. We're equal. So why wouldn't I reach out to him? I want something. We're equal. I'm going to reach out. Well, you can, but it's taking away his agency. It's taking away his pursuit. It's taking away his wonder, and you are going to get caught up in the vicious cycle and get hurt and not get what you want and not lead him to have ultimately the fulfillment he would like by falling for you. You see, men don't fall for women as much as women fall for men because they don't bond through time and sex at all. At all. Men only bond to women in one way, and that is through making a formal commitment to the woman. Here's why. If you don't know it, you can go to the playlist of this book and discover the puppy principle, because you've had this experience yourself. You see, women see commitment as a natural outgrowth of love. We fall in love through time and sex. In other words, we like him enough, we have sex with him, we are gonna fall. It just happens. It's hormonal. It's the way women bond. It's nature. And you can't help that. You have to know it, though. So that's going to happen to you. And it's why we're here talking about this. Because yes, you are not going to be fulfilled and happy staying in a situationship, friends with benefits, just hooking up. You are naturally and normally going to fall, bond, and want more. Again, you can't talk about those things and act on them in the way you've been taught, which is just, I'll be honest, I'll be direct, I'll be straightforward, I'll have male energy about it. I'll convince him that this is the right thing to do, the good thing to do, what he wants, etc. Or you're going to be totally confused. How could he not feel what you feel? It can be very, very confusing unless you understand men and women are like night and day, sun and rain, on or off, stop or go, yes or no. Opposites, like apples and oranges. Equal fruit, completely opposite. It's why we say, like apples and oranges. We have to deal with men in the way that works to give them agency, that allows them to feel their maleness, to feel in control of where it's going. And that means how often you do everything in the relationship, how often you text, how often you see him, how often everything. This is tricky because you're going to be bonded and you're going to attach and you're going to feel anxiety when you don't get a text from him, when you don't see him, when you don't know what the relationship is. That's one of the gender gaps in my book. Women love through knowing, but men love through wondering. If you take the wondering away, you take his interest down. So this is tough because there's some fine lines. And you know, if you know me here, the 80-20 Wonder Club. What does that mean? Love, like life, is best lived in 80-20. So we strive for giving him 100% agency. We strive for him to reach out 100% of the time. We strive to allow him to lead it 100% of the time. And when you strive for that as a modern woman, you'll probably hit that sweet spot of 80%. If there is someone here who's in the situation whereby they're in a situationship, friends with benefits, you know, I've worked with women who've been in these situations for years. And I give the fix. It's not pleasant to do, but it works. If they give the requisite time to allow the man to go through the feelings he must feel when you do it. And now we're going to get into what is that doing? What is it doing? Many of you here on YouTube, because I see some of you that I know, and some even I've worked with or working with, you know what the step is. It's not an easy one, and you must get there by having done all you've done, probably talk to him about it, probably tried to convey it in some different form. This form didn't work, so I'll try this. And this didn't work, so I'll try that. And cajoling, maybe more sex, feeling like, well, if we see each other more, he'll want more. If I do more, if this, that, or the other thing. And talking to your friends and getting all manner of stuff that doesn't work. This one I'm going to tell you, like I said, hard to do, but works. It works by doing one thing, doing it concisely, very, what would be the word? confidently, knowingly, showing your value, doing it, and then sticking to it. This allows for the man to feel what he needs to feel to come to terms with whether or not he can do it. He misses you enough. It creates feelings in him that were dormant because of all that you were doing. It works unbelievably. It's a formula. I know that one thing above all, I do know this one thing above all, that when a woman comes to me and we work on this and she does it, I can always tell her one thing. I can't give you 100% that he will be giving you the relationship you want. I can give you 100% that he will come back and try for you again. But I can tell you 100% above all that if you don't do this and you've been in a situationship and you've been in a friends with benefits and you haven't gotten anything more, you're going to continue to be hurt and nothing else will work. I can also say, if you do this and at any time it's too hard to do and you can't do it through time, through support, through working on it, and you can't, you can always have what you have. You can always have the friends with benefits. He will continue until he finds someone else, perhaps. Or he could be with someone else, perhaps, while you're just seeing him, if it hasn't been discussed about exclusivity. So I'm going to go over the tough part of the lure him in approach and leave you there on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, please come over to YouTube and join us. That's where we are building this community, where you ask your questions in real time and I will answer them. And we will move forward with this live. I'm glad to see a lot of you here from Instagram, but come on over and join us on YouTube. All right, so we're going to get to it. Hold on one moment. Say goodbye on Instagram. Come on over. All right. So, hi there, YouTubers. So happy to see you. Please put a like on this video if you will. That's helpful. And I'm going to get to your questions. You here likely know that this is the lure him in approach. I call it lure him in, lure him back. Because if you're in a friends with benefits situationship, it's got to end concisely, confidently, very kindly, in a value-based way, whereby you know what you want, and then everything starts for him to start to feel. That's what happens. This, when done correctly, works, like I said, like nothing else imaginable. However, when we as women love, and we love hard, it's the hardest thing we will ever do. Probably easier to get an advanced degree, or I don't know, get the job of your dreams, or maybe, I don't know, I never have done it, but maybe have a baby. This emotionally, very few things are as hard as doing this. But when you do it, to the degree that you do, because it is difficult, you get exponential rewards. Because no matter what, you will know if that man truly wants you for more. And if not, you can either move on or go back to what you had. Yes. So you here likely know my lure him back approach. It's step by step what you do to end the relationship as it is. That starts the clock ticking on him feeling what he needs to feel. And I have never worked with a woman, and I've been doing this for years, whereby when we have that first discussion, you and you tell me about that situationship, friends with benefits, whatever it is, I can unequivocally tell you whether or not you'll be hearing from him again. Can't tell you how long, but I know you're going to hear from him again. If I can't, and I've never had a miss on this, because it's so formulaic for men. If you don't, you never ever would have had him from the beginning. But I'm telling you, 9.9 times out of 10, he will be back. That's when mistakes are made, because that's not the restart. That's just him showing signs that it's working. And I have a formula for that and how you guide it. You need to be committed. You need to be at a place of, I don't want this anymore, and I want the shot of having more. It's imperative that you commit to doing it through your energy, your intention, the time needed. Again, I've never had it not work that he does come back. And when it's done correctly in the restarting it, that sets it on the course then to having a real relationship. Because fundamentally, you have to make those changes. He has to know that those changes in him are necessary to have it back, and have it back in a way that can continue. And through that time, he feels what he needs to feel. This is going to hurt. But for the most part, when a woman does this approach, she ends it with a template note that I have in my program. I give you the template note, we work on it and edit it so it's genuine to you, and you follow through with the dreaded no contact. There is no greater tool to get to the heart of a man than that. The first thing a man feels, if you've been talking about having a relationship, if he has felt you've wanted one that he's not been giving you, if he's felt any amount of implied pressure or any kind of pressure at all, the first thing he feels when this occurs and you've taken the steps and ended this situationship, friends with benefits, hooking up, whatever it is, and you do this, the first thing he feels, again, not pretty, he feels relief. Yep, he's going to miss the sex, but he feels relief. He has to go through those feelings. Time has to pass with no contact, because he cannot have any access to you whatsoever, because he has to be ding, 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 wondering to be falling for you. We ignite the wonder. he then starts missing you. The relief turns into grief. Relief to grief. Grief leads to growing the feelings, and eventually, bam, he reaches out. That's where every woman makes a mistake. You may have had this happen to you. You've maybe done some pseudo version of this and stopped interacting, and then he reaches out and you answer. Well, what did you just do? You stopped the growth. You didn't let his anxiety simmer for him and keep him growing. Yeah, tough. This is the bulk of my coaching with women, because you have to have the objective support. Someone who's done this for hundreds of women and knows it works. Really in the trenches, doing it, going through the tough stuff, it works. And then there will be a time when there's a change and where he really comes towards you. From the pursuit, from the wonder. And there was enough there. Of course he likes you. Of course he'd love the sex with you. He wouldn't have continued. But if you don't do this, you will continue to have what you have. And he will not grow to be where you are. So let's take some questions. All right, let's see. Angel, where do I start working on my self-esteem? It seems, or I am starting to think I won't get married or have kids. A lot of men seem like they don't like me just by not really acknowledging me. Angel, I don't know enough about you. That seems like a self-concept issue that is related to your earliest programming, feeling deep within your subconscious that there's something wrong with you. You are not wanted, you are not enough, you are not seen, you are not worthy. That takes consistent overriding of your programming. You likely have heard me talk about that a lot on my podcast, Make Him Wonder. You can find that here on YouTube. But this is going to take you getting some help doing that. Like I said, my 3 pillars: mindset, which encompasses what you're asking, your self-concept related to your subconscious programming. Make no mistake, you are experiencing what you are experiencing with men now, not from your most recent, meaning your adult or teenage even, experiences with men. Those were simply an outgrowth of what you feel about yourself on a subconscious level. And every one of us is stamped with, on our subconscious, stamped on our subconscious, are feelings of worth and value and what love actually is. And you are exhibiting the energy of someone who does not feel enough, worthy, and you were made to feel that through your baby mind. Not saying your parents are at fault. Your baby mind picks up on that, and it is so deep within us because it happens from birth to age 7, where we get our self-concept, our worth and value related to our lovability, to what love is. And it necessitates a great deal of work. So you need to be working on it through, there are a number of ways. Many people go to therapy to work on it. Well, if you don't work on overriding the programming in a way that I like to do in a fun way through manifesting, knowing in your mind, your imagination, your validation of writing it, living in that space of I'm going to get what I desire. You say you want to get married and have kids. We would be working on you manifesting your dream life in a very simple way of you having all that you want. That puts you in a very positive mind frame to help you to start overriding the negative programming. That's done through sleep meditations when you're in theta brain, and you can. That's done via listening to many, many positive things and writing out positive affirmations that are going to hearken to your specific issue. So it's a very broad question, and I can't answer it with any more specifics without working with you one-on-one and knowing about your programming. But that's at the heart of it. So as I said, you can seek out counseling if you haven't. Again, if it's about programming, that's good. But if you're just talking about the problems, guess what you'll get more of? What we focus on, we get more of. So if you're focused on, there's something about me and men don't like me, they seem to not acknowledge me, and you talk about that, that's what you're going to get. So be careful of that if you're doing any kind of therapy. Coaching, great. If it's about overriding the programming like we're talking about. Hypnotherapy, very valuable if you get someone who understands this, because most hypnotherapists only work with stuff like smoking cessation, dieting, because it's very scalable in a fast way. This takes a bit more work, and why the manifesting and the mindset stuff seem to really work to keep you in that positive space. The energy of you're getting what you want, that also helps the programming when you add it into the imaginal act you do, Neville Goddard's way and approach of the law of assumption. There's a lot to it. But you add that with men, we would be discovering, what are you doing around the men? That is likely adding to it. Okay. So I hope that helps. And again, you can talk to me for free by being an anonymous guest on the podcast. You join the 80/20 Wonder Club in a 12-month membership, and you get a full coaching experience with me. Very affordable. I hope you will do something. Angel would love to talk to you. So let's see. Here we go. Paula, I haven't reached out. Should I reach out to the French guy to see if he'll ask me out again for the weekend? It's been a week since our date, and he is back from his trip. Bad idea. Well, what do you think? We're just talking about agency here. Here's what can help you a lot if you're in a situation like Jolie's saying. It's been a week, waiting to hear from her guy or guys. Haven't. She's feeling anxious because we don't want to wonder at all. It's extremely anxiety provoking for us. But if we don't attend to that ourselves, we hurt ourselves. Because yes, we can get any amount of attention by doing it. We'll get instantaneous attention. We will hear back. We'll certainly get sexual stuff coming towards us, and we can get easily into a friends with benefits or situationship. Absolutely. But if we don't attempt to thwart those things and give him the agency whereby he does it, you know one thing, a man who really is interested and really is wondering and thinking about you, he will reach out. He's showing you via action. Remember, one of my big things, one of my 5 gender gaps, women relate via verbalization, men relate via action. He's showing you what he wants. Wait. And you'll see. Wait, but don't waste your time waiting. Continue to try and see other men, be online, get yourself out there. Yes. I remember speaking to you, Jolie, and I have my doubts about this man. So I would wait. Barbara, what do you do to be seen in the first category if you've had sex at the end of the first meeting? It's what we're talking about tonight. It's not an issue. It's what you do from here. We've got to guide it. You cannot be changing. And I know who's asking me this question. I hope you'll connect with me so that we can keep you from verbalizing, because that's going to be the hardest for you. Talking to him about it. You don't want to be wondering. It's absolutely okay. I do not want you to think that if you had sex early on, it cannot go the distance. That's not true. As many people who, there's all manner. There's waited, not waited, had sex on the first date, had sex on the 8th date. If you do what I'm telling you, you hold off on the verbalizing, you don't change the energy, you can have it. You don't step into too much of a relationship mode by taking away his agency, reaching out, right? But I know we've worked together. There are always various facets. Again, love, like life, is best lived in 80-20, but you want to strive for the 100% to get to the sweet spot of 80. So you're worried about not being seen in the first category. If it's who I'm thinking of that this has happened, I don't think that's the case. So I wouldn't worry about that. I would worry about what's coming next. And hopefully we can connect on that, because I'm happy to hear that you reconnected if it's the man I'm thinking about. So that's great. Yay. Angel says, when in doubt, wait him out. You got it. You got it. Opal, I can't say enough about how Coach Paula helps. She is amazing. I hope you can work with Paula. Angel. Oh, how sweet. Thank you so much, Opal. That means a lot to me. Thank you. That's great. I really love it. You know, we can only go so far in these lives and videos, but it's a start. And if you repeat it, hear it different ways, look at different videos, hear it again and again. It's really funny that when we are learning something, someone will say it one way and we don't get it. And it might even be them saying it a different way. And then it's like, oh, I never heard that before. And you really did, but it just didn't resonate with you. So if you understand that You don't need necessarily more information. You need more reminding. Because in the reminding, you get the ding, ding, ding. Oh, that's what that means. Oh, now I get it. The aha moments we get via repetition. It's not to be discounted at all. The aha moments we get through repetition. Yeah. So I somehow got out of the chat. I don't know what happened. Let me see if I can get back in. Hello. Yeah, let's see. There we go. Got him back. So if you are in this situation, I hope you will take action, because through your work and your change, you will create the change you wish to experience. And if you have found somebody you like and are falling for, don't miss that opportunity. It's a rarity for us as women. When we finally feel something, we want to capture it and have the best chance of it going the distance. Because unlike for men, they can love us all, big, small, short, tall. Remember, it's my puppy principle. They see us all as we see puppies. We love them all. The biggest Mastiff puppy, the smallest little Chihuahua puppy, we love them all. And we can love something about them all. We can love on absolutely all of them, pretty much. Although I wouldn't love too much on the drooling Mastiff, probably. That's just me. But I'm going to love something about that drooling Mastiff. I'm going to want to pet him for sure. Might not be kissing his chops when he's drooling, but I would want to pet him and love on him. And so men have the world open to them in a way that we do not. So when we feel something about the man and we've started in a sexual way, which is not the end of it, it's what we do from there that has the man lessening his interest from the energy shift. And that takes a lot of work and help to get through that shifting by the mechanics of men. That's the other pillar, right? We have 3 pillars we got to work on. You stay in the state of manifestation. You're having this relationship in the way you want it. Is that marriage? Is that kids? We're going to manifest it. We're going to do an imaginal act of it. We're going to stay in the knowing that you can have it. And then we get busy doing the mechanics that help us get there. Greasing, the engine and making it work smoothly with the right energy and the right steps. And then the mindset work, overriding the programming of whatever it is for you. I'm not lovable. I don't get what I want. I always get the scraps. I'm dismissed. I'll be abandoned. There's all manner. We got to work with your individual programming. So, lots to chew on. Be reminded. And I thank you for being here. I'm going to love you and leave you so your man doesn't. And with that, please subscribe, share this far and wide, like it on your way out. That helps me immensely. Come back to it. Remind yourself about it. Make comments. That's also very helpful. And I will see you in the next video.